All right, David, thank you for joining me tonight. This morning for you. This is my first interview for somebody from the future. Uh, so I'm curious. You play in the X League for the Finnies. Am I saying that right?
Finies.
Finies. Okay. How do uh, how does someone who goes to UConn, lives in America all their life, wind up in Japan playing pro football? How does that happen?
So it all started back in 2022. That's how I got here. I started here in 2022, but piggyback to college, came out of college 2019 UConn, and yeah, played quarterback. Only position I played was quarterback like since high school. That's when I started playing football. I only played quarterback, and coming out of college, I had a lot of scouts talking to me, asking me questions during my draft process. They were all just interested in me, trying other positions. And at the time, I was like, sure, just because at that point, I was trying to get on a team. But then, after my pro day, I threw. Scouts just wanted to see me throw. Everybody wanted to see me throw. They said I had a great pro day, throwing the ball. And then day three of the draft, 2019, I ended up going undrafted to the Minnesota Vikings. They brought me in as a running back. And then I went to Tampa Bay. They brought me in as a receiver. And after that, that really didn't go well. I wasn't prepared for those situations. I ended up going to Montreal in the CFL for later that year, like to finish 2019 out. And then 2020 came, so nobody was playing football. 2021 came, ended up, playing in the fan control football league. And then I played in the arena league later that year, finished out in Albany that year. And then 2022 came, I was looking to play football still. And I think I was signed to like an arena team, but I'm just like, arena wasn't really for me. It was a fun experience, but it just wasn't for me. I want to play real football, play outside. And I just kept, promoting myself. So I just kept, posting my videos on Instagram and Twitter, just, promoting me throwing and stuff like that. So the team reached out to me. They said well, they reached out to the dude I was throwing with. They asked him, can they get in contact with me? They were very interested in me. So I got on the Zoom call with them and had a good conversation with the general managers here and everything. Next day, they ended up flying me to like Los Angeles for a workout. I did a good workout there, so I ended up, getting like 3, 4 calls from other teams out here. And then like a couple of days later, flew to Atlanta, did a workout there for another team, and then I ended up, had like 4 options to pick from a team out here, and ended up signing here to Elecom Finies.
So what's the, obviously, I don't know if you had been to Japan before you started living there, but like how much of a culture shock is that? How much of a big change? I mean, I don't, did you bring your family out there, or is it hard to kind of communicate since the hours are so different? And what's life like now that you've been there a couple years?
Yeah, so when I first got here, like I've never been to outside of America besides like Montreal, Canada, CFL. That's right above New York. So for me, that don't really count. But I've never been like out of the country. So coming to Japan was like I was nervous. I was hesitant at first because like I never been that far away. I didn't even know like this stuff existed. Like you hear about other countries stuff. I never knew this existed. Like only reason I went was my teammate, my boy that I trained with and stuff, Devin Phelps. He ended up coming out here too. And when he came out here, I'm like, okay, I can go with him because like I trust him. I train with him. He played college ball. He played in the league and everything too. So like I'll go if he goes. So he ended up going. So I went with him. And when we got out here, like it was just like this really existed to me. Like when I got off that plane and we landed here, like wow, this is really Japan. But after that first year here, I got adjusted to it. We had a pretty good first year. Ended up signing me to a 3-year contract after that. So I've been here for this is going on year 3 for me. So being out here, I've been able to learn the culture and kind of adapt to it. And it's different. It's different. Some things are very different. Like to me, I say in a good way, and then some things are different. It's just like they just do a little too much of it. But very good culture, very respectful culture, very polite people, very clean. They're quiet, and it's unique. They're different in their own way. It's not. It hasn't been hard to adapt. Like I think the biggest thing that's been hard for me is finding food as far as what I like to eat. I'm
Sure.
not a person that like to like try new things, but that's probably been the hardest part for me. But other than that, like They're all about respect. You come here, you respect them, respect their culture, you won't have any problems. Um, I don't have any tattoos or anything like that, so I don't have any problem going to like public places and stuff like that. I know people with tattoos, that'd be hard for them. Like my teammates, they like covered in tattoos. So like going to like public, gyms, going to like the beaches and stuff like that, it's a little hard for them because they tell you, hey, you got to cover all that up. You can't come. Um, they do everything, very efficient on time. But other than that, like it's been easy to adapt to. Nothing, really like was hard for me to adapt to. Obviously, the language, I've been picking up the language over the years since I've been here, and I've been able to communicate with my teammates even better each year. We have a translator that's on staff who like works with me, but the more you're around somebody, you just keep hearing it. That's been the easiest way for me to like learn the language, and I've been able to teach them English from as much as I can.
Sure. Yeah, my wife is Mexican. Her whole family speaks Spanish, and I can't
Mhm.
really, I can't speak it all that well, but I can understand it just kind of like just from being around it for so long. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly. Same here.
so I don't know if this is, forgive me if this is not totally updated, but according to Wikipedia, you're out there with Isaiah Pierre, Brandon McKinney, and Theo Howard. Um,
So
what
that was our team this past year. So
Patrick? Okay,
after our season was over December, and they only ended up re-signing me. So the other three, they are Zaya. Zaya is in Brazil now, and Brandon and Theo, I think they're done playing football.
okay. But so each team is allowed to have four foreign players. Usually, I would imagine they're American. Are you there with? Are there three other guys there with you now? And if so, what's that like to kind of be able to lean on those guys to because you're all experienced this this culture uh, for the first time for the most part. I know you've been there for 2 years, but newer guys might feel a little nervous at first.
Yeah, so the rules out here is every team's allowed four foreign players. Most teams usually go and get the American guys. But yeah, having four foreign players out here, um, everybody's come from different background, but at the end of the day, everybody, the players they usually go after, the high level players that are in America. So all these guys, they all play D1 at a high level, so they know, they know they're very knowledgeable of football, and we all have the same mindset. Like the goal is to win. At the end of the day, we're here to play football. We're here to win. So we all have that common denominator right there. Um, difference is, it's two on offense, two on defense. So two defensive players, have to work with all the Japanese defensive players, and two offensive players. We got to, really gel with the Japanese players. And obviously, me and the American, receiver Theo, like we had last year, our communication is really good. We're on the same page because we understand, real football. And I know in America we're way, way, way more advanced when it comes to football and our knowledge. So like things like when we, games planning and you know, planning, game plan throughout the week. Me and American City, we're always, on the same page. We know how to, game plan, prep up stuff because we know how, from our experiences in America and playing at a high level, we understand, certain defenses, know what they can do, what plays we can run off certain plays where we just ran the previous week. Here, think they're more of like they stick. They're very vanilla. They know like the basics of football, and they like to just stick to like what they've been doing. They don't really like to try new things as far as hey, try this play on top of this play, set it up for this. And I think that was the hardest part for me and like the American receiver was the offensive coordinator because like I said, they're very used to just stand to what they used to. They don't really like to try new things. So it made it a little difficult, but at the end of the day, like they really trusted me as a quarterback. Whereas when I went out there with Theo, it's just like, hey, forget what he said. We're going to do this because we understand football. We're on the same page. As far as what we want to do. So that part was made it a little difficult. But other than that, like all four of the Americans, we all had the same common goal. We wanted to, the goal is to win. We know football, and we all came out here for like one reason, pretty much.
So my understanding of the league, which is still brand new to me, but it's kind of like the Premier League in soccer. Like you have to you can be relegated and you can be promoted, and what's that like? I mean, obviously, in the NCAA, you're trying to get into that ranking system so you can get a bowl game or try to get to the playoffs, or in the NFL, you're obviously, same thing. You're trying to get to the playoffs, but here you can, if you have a bad season, you guys go to a whole new league. What's that like?
Yeah. So out here, it's like the highest league. So it's like four leagues out here. It's like the X League, X1, X2, X3, and basically it's similar to like Division 1, FCS, D2, D3, pretty much like that. So the one we're in is the highest one's called the X League, and it has 12 teams in it, and basically every year, you playing. I think like the team who's ranked the lowest out of the 12, that's the team that they go back down, and then the team from the X1 league who's ranked the highest, they go back up. So at the end of this season, obviously, you have like your regular season, then you have your 8 teams, or I think 8 or 6 teams that make it to the playoffs. Everybody goes to the playoffs. Those teams are good. So the 4 teams that don't make it to the playoffs, the 2 teams play the 2 teams. Whoever win those 2 games, those two play. They stay in the league. Then the last 2 teams who lost, they play, and whoever loses that game, they're the one who's go down, and then the team from the X1 that was the best, they end up coming up. And it's a little different. Like that was new to me, but I'm like, hey, it's something for the lower team to compete for. Like you're always competing at the lower team that keeps them. Hey, we gotta try our best to stay up, because it comes with benefits. They come with sponsors. So staying in the X1 league, biggest league, you get more sponsors. Teams give you more money and stuff like that. So I think that's like the biggest thing out here as far as why they do that and why they're competing for that. But it's a little unique.
Yeah. So you've become kind of like I guess you would call it like a football influencer on TikTok and Instagram. Like you've gained a ton of followers, and you put up all these cool videos and kind of explaining how plays work. How did that come about? And how do you think that's helping with your popularity as a football player, and maybe giving you opportunities?
Yeah. So I mean, I won't consider myself an influencer. Like I'm not specifically doing it to be like an influencer, anything like that. But I think the reason I did it is because, for one, it's a way for me to showcase my talent, show like, hey, I can throw, I can do this, do that, promote myself, and then on top of that, it's like I'm helping people out, as far as the educational part, like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, this is how you throw this way, doing this, because I realize, for one, I've been doing this since what, like 2016, since I'm a junior college. So every time I go throw, I've always just record my videos, because I like watching myself, seeing, how I look on film and stuff. So it's waiting me to just, watch myself. But then, back in like when I was in college at UConn, I ended up posting it on my stories and stuff. And I realized it gets a lot of views and a lot of people like watching it. So then I just been doing that over the years. So being out here, I know like it's a whole different market out here, a whole different fan base and stuff out here. And these people, like, they're very, very like willing to just soak up any type of knowledge. So I posted a video one day, like the first day I got out here, I posted a video, just a throwing video or something like that. And then I posted on Twitter, and like the whole Japanese, football, fan base, they all, reposted, tweeted, they all follow me. So then I started, posted on TikTok. And then on TikTok, because I wasn't using TikTok at first, and I posted on TikTok. First video got like 80,000 views, and a bunch of people started following me from back at home and like all around the world. And I just kept doing that, and I realized, there's a space for just being able to just teach something that I do on a regular, just throwing. People want to learn how to throw. People want to learn, how to the perfect mechanics to throw, and small things like, hey, how you take a 3-step drop, 5-step, small stuff like that. So it's educational stuff, but it's also a way for me to promote myself and show like, hey, I still have the talent, I can still throw and all that stuff. So that's really how I've been using it. As far as the reason I post that stuff and why I do that is because it's a way for me to showcase my talent, kind of market myself, but also it's like giving back, being like a teacher, as far as a quarterback teacher, just from the internet, from like showing my videos. And then over the last month, what I've been doing, I've been going TikTok live like every Monday through Friday, about 3 hours, and I basically just I just teach X's and O's football, because I realize a lot of people play football, or have some experience of football, and a lot of people don't know what it's like as a quarterback when you come to that line of scrimmage. Like, what are you looking at? Why do you make this throwing stuff? So I decided, just do this thing called quarterback. So we go in there for about 3 hours, and basically we just go up. I drop a couple of plays, a lot of universal plays that everybody's run before, smash, flood, power, all that type of stuff. And basically, we just, break each play down, talk about, defenses, understanding, coverages, assignments, gap schemes, gap zones, all that stuff. And we just go through plays, talk about it. And that's when I realized, that's probably the biggest thing that helps a lot of people. Like, I get on there, a bunch of coaches join players, and they have a lot of questions. And it's very helpful for them because, like, I didn't realize a lot of people play football, but it's like they don't know, a lot of people don't understand, hey, why we run this play? What's the purpose of this play? They just think, hey, you're running through plays just to run through them. And every play has a purpose. There's a purpose why we run this play, who we're trying to attack, who we're trying to get the ball to. So I've been doing that for the last, month and a half, and I've been gaining a lot of attention on that, gaining a lot of followers on that. And it's actually been helpful to me as well because, they come up with questions that it makes me think as well, like, hey, let me look back at some film and let me see how I can, answer this question, help you guys out. So it's all been a way of me just marketing myself and just, help out, be educational for, younger football players and the future.
Do you think that maybe coaching is in your future?
Um, so ideally I never thought about coaching. Like it's never been like, hey, I want to get into that like when I'm done football because I've been playing football since what high school, since the last what 12, 13 years of my life. So it's just been I've been on this path for like the last 13 years, living this same lifestyle. And I'm like, when I'm done playing football, I want to be done with it for good. Because at the end of the day, I want to have a family. I want to be able to, just be committed to my family. And I know coaching, depending on what level you are, coaching is like a whole nother like with recruiting, traveling, it's like you're still away from your family. So once I'm done playing football, I want to be done with it. I want to just be committed to my family rather than being away from it again. So
Sure. Just a couple more for you. You're on the ground there. You have your feet on the ground. You know what's going on out there. Do you think with the NFL kind of going to different places like Brazil and Mexico and England and all that, do you think that there's an appetite for an NFL game in Japan at some point?
I think they would love it. I think they would really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I think that they would really love that because football base out here, like believe it or not, I didn't know football was kind of huge out here. Like it's not huge like in America or anything like that, but the fan base out here is like there's a big fan base, and it showed like you. I don't know if you watched any of the games or anything like, but at our Rice Bowl game a year ago, and we played at Tokyo Dome, which is like this big old indoor venue. I
Yes.
think they had like 20, 22,000 people there, and it was like the fans actually come out to the games. Like it's a lot of fans out here. Andrew Luck came here what like a month and a half ago, and they had a big fan base out there, people that just came out there and supported and everything. So I think like they had a organized football game out here, NFL game. Uh, it would bring a lot of attention. A lot of people will come and watch the game. Sure.
Yeah, let's hope that they do that at some point because that would be cool. Um,
Mhm.
and then the last thing is, have you heard anything from NFL teams? Have they been calling you at all lately, or is there any chance you might make a switch back to that at some point?
I mean, that's the goal. That's the main reason why I came out here in the first place. But yeah, I'm a realist. I'm not, I'm not gonna lie to myself and things like that. So I know I'm 27 years old, turned 28. Had an opportunity from a UFL team. They called me, but contract here that they gave me here is just much better than that one. So I'm like, I wouldn't leave this situation unless it was an NFL situation. And NFL team hasn't called me yet. And I know the reality is, when you're getting older, they look at you like you're older, like they want younger guys. So for me, I just know like, hey, the opportunity comes, so I'll be more than happy to go. But if not, like I know the reality, I know I'm getting older and stuff. So I have a great contract out here. They pay me well out here. They take care of me. They fly my family out here. So it's like this is the next best situation if like the NFL doesn't call. But I still, every day I promote myself. I make highlight videos, post them on Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff to just get the eyes on, get eyes on me. Just to somebody might be interested in hey bringing me in as far as to like an NFL mini camp or something like that. I don't have an agent. Um, I'm not really looking for an agent or anything like that. I know how it works. I had an agent already, so but yeah, so if the opportunity presents itself as far as NFL wise, sure I'll go back. But anything else, I think this is the best situation as far as what they're doing for me here.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with me, David. This is all really informational, and I never knew about this league until I just kind of saw some of your stuff the other day, and I thought I needed to learn.
I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, is there a way to watch it here in America?
Yeah, so they have a whole league, like a website and everything. So it's called X League TV. I can send you the link, or I'll put it in my bio, like knowing like the week before game days. And all it is, you just go on the internet, type in the website or whatever, and then have like all the games you can stream, you can watch, and all that stuff. We're a day ahead, so when we
Right.
play, it'll probably be like nighttime, the day before your time. But yeah, sure.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll if you could send that to me, that would be cool. When you get a chance, and I'll definitely watch some games.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Have a good day, man.
All right, same. Thank you.